Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to TCGTim, and we are here to open up something special today. We have some Magic the Gathering Unhinged. Fortunately, this is not a sealed booster box, but it is set one of a very interesting block. So kind of interesting. I bought this off of the good old eBays, so it's, guaranteed to be a fake. 12 packs of a 36-pack booster box. Was it searched through? Probably. I believe this set was also mappable, so more than likely there's no amazing pulls in here. It's not too often that you get to open up some wonderful vintage Magic. So we're going to have some fun with it. Open it up. I have these 12 packs, and I happen to have a 13th random pack that did not come out of this box that I've just had for a while. So we're going to open up that last. I'm just going to go through, enjoy these wonderful unsets. I think they're fun. I have a uncube that I really enjoy that contains cards from all the different sets. Kind of some fun dynamics there throughout all of them, some different tribes and synergies that you can get. It's really a good time. If you haven't played much in the way of unsets, you're missing out. I highly recommend an uncube. It's a great way to just have some draft fun with your friends. Without further ado, let's open up some Unhinged. These are almost a craft paper. Just another way that they were set apart. Let's see, what year is this from? 15 cardways? I don't know. It's from a year. It was made at a time at a place. Okay. Let's dig in. We're going to take our time, go nice and slowly, enjoy some of the flavor from this set, see what happens. All right, so we have a Goblin Mime. When you speak, sacrifice Goblin Mime. Okay. And we have Graphic Violence. All creatures by the artist of your choice get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. And that was done by Wayne, the King of England. All right. And warning, the Dominarian Surgeon General has found that savage beatings can lead to chump blocks, life reduction, and even game loss. These have so much fun flavor. Fascist Art Director. For 2 white, the Fascist Art Director gains protection from the artist of your choice until the end of the turn. This is some fun mechanics. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Cranford, after careful analysis of Jeremy's vocational testing, I feel that he is torture of art. I feel he's suited for a career in either torture or art direction. Edward P. Feed Me Beard Jr. That's fun. Moniker Mage. For a blue, you can say your middle name. Moniker Mage can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. For blue, you can say an opponent's middle name. Moniker Mage gains flying until end of turn. All right, that is just fun. And we have a badass Donkey Zombie for a black and 1 colorless growl, and you regenerate. All right. Some Mana Flare. And add red to your mana pool for each non-land permanent by the artist of your choice. What began as black has slowly shifted to red. Fickle color pie. Super Size. Target creature gains +3.5/+3.5 until end of turn. You want Mize with that? Oh my. Circle of Protection Art. As Circle of Protection Art comes into play, choose an artist. 1 colorless and a white. The next time a source of your choice by the chosen artist would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. For a colorless and a white, return Circle of Protection Art to its owner's hand. And that is some fancy art by Jim Stop the Da Vinci Beatdown Pavazicki. That guy. Artful Looter. Tap to draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever a permanent comes into play that shares an artist with another permanent you control, untap Artful Looter. Priceless Pick Pilfered. Painting found in abandoned graveyard. Heather Erica Glaska Jape Hudson. Oh my. And we have Farewell to Arms. As Farewell to Arms comes into play, choose a hand attached to an opponent's arm. When the chosen hand isn't behind its owner's back, sacrifice Farewell to Arms. If you do, that player discards his or her hand of cards. The lawyers wouldn't let us do it the other way. Okay, we have Elvish House Party. Elvish House Party's power and toughness are each equal to the current hour using the 12-hour system. The party was going strong for nearly an hour past midnight. Then all of a sudden, it just petered out. Oh my. Eye to eye. Look at that. That is some artwork. You and target's creature's controller have a staring contest. If you win, destroy that creature. True, Gargax had blinded himself for life, but the glass eyes never lost. Oh my. My first tome. Colorless and tap. Say the flavor text on a card in your hand. Target opponent guesses that card's name. You may reveal that card. If you do, your opponent guessed wrong. Draw a card. This card is named My First Tome. And some Unhinged John Avon Forest. And, oh, there we go. Avatar of Me. Avatar of Me costs 1 more to play for each 10 years you've been alive. Avatar of Me's power is equal to your height in feet, and its toughness is equal to your American shoe size. Round to the nearest half. Avatar of Me's color is the color of your eyes. That is something. These sets are so much fun. Let's keep digging through here. I'm not going to read the ones we've already opened, at least to the best of my memory. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun cards to explore in here. What are we doing here? Apparently I don't know how to open packs. There we go. All right. Man of Measure. As long as you're shorter than an opponent, Man of Measure has first strike and gets +0/+1. As long as you're taller than your opponent, Man of Measure gets +1/+0. Little Napoleon action in there. What does it say? You need to be this tall to play this card. Napoleon actually wasn't that short. Fun fact. Number Crunch. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Gotcha! Whenever an opponent says a number, you must say, gotcha. If you do, return Number Crunch from your graveyard to your hand. Can you digit? Wet Willy of the Damned. Oh my goodness. Wet Willy of the Damned deals 2.5 damage to target creature or player, and you gain 2.5 life. Ever the Warrior, Glissa responded with a wedgie from beyond Uranus. Oh my. Goblin Secret Agent. Secret Agent has first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal a card from your hand at random. License to be killed. Land Aid 04. Search your library for a basic land card. Put that card into play tapped. Then shuffle your library. If you sang a song the whole time you were searching and shuffling, you may untap that land. That Land Aid icon. Oh my goodness. That's fun. AWOL. Remove target attacking creature from the game. Then remove it from the removed from game zone and put it into the absolutely removed from the freaking game forever zone. Oh, that's excellent. Flassify. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3.5. Don't worry about it. It happens to every mage sooner or later. Tainted Monkey. Tap to choose a word. Target player puts the top card of his or her library into his or her graveyard. If that card has the chosen word in the text box, that player loses 3 life. Come on, choose monkey. Everybody loves monkeys. Orcish Paratroopers. When Orcish Paratroopers comes into play, flip it from a height of at least 1 foot. Sacrifice Orcish Paratroopers unless it lands face up after turning over completely. IOU 1 parachute. That's something. Monkey, Monkey, Monkey. As Monkey, Monkey, Monkey comes into play, choose a letter. Monkey, Monkey, Monkey gets +1/+1 for each non-land permanent whose name begins with the chosen letter. Many matches make more Madcap Monkey mayhem. That's something. Toy Boat. Cumulative upkeep. Say Toy Boat quickly. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an age counter on Toy Boat, then sacrifice it unless you say Toy Boat once for each age counter on it without pausing between or fumbling it. Okay then. Question Elemental. Question mark. Flying. Are you aware that when you say something that isn't a question, the player who first points out this fact gains control of question elemental? No confusion there. Rod of Spanking. Rod of Spanking deals 1 damage to target player. Then untap Rod of Spanking unless that player says, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" Minutes before the Campus Watch Busted Pledge Week at Alpha Beta Unlimited House. That's something. Another forest. And I know my ABCs. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control permanents with names that include all 26 layers of the English alphabet, you win the game. That's something. So much good flavor in these unsets. And I get why it can't be, the normal way to play Magic the Gathering, but it is kind of a treat when you get to. Again, can't suggest an uncube enough. Is that Too Hot to Handle, or Red Hot Hottie? Whenever Red Hot Hottie deals damage to a creature, put a 3rd-degree burn counter on that creature. It has, at the end of each turn, sacrifice the creature unless you scream, "Ah!" at the top of your lungs. She was swimming the Dominarian. Are you hot? Oh my goodness, I can't even read that. All right, moving on. Shoe Tree. Shoe Tree comes into play with 2 shoe counters on it. Use your shoes as counters. Shoe Tree gets +1 for each shoe counter on it. It grows several feet a year. Card Pecker. Flying. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent touches the table with his or her hand, you may say gotcha. If you do, return Card Pecker from your graveyard to your hand. Carnivorous Death Parrot. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Carnivorous Death Parrot, unless you say its flavor text. Save a kill spell to deal with this guy. The Fallen Apart. The Fallen Apart comes into play with 2 arms and 2 legs. Whenever damage is dealt to the Fallen Apart, remove an arm or a leg from it. The Fallen Apart can't attack if it has no legs and can't block if it has no arms. Okay. Crazy mechanics here. Let's see. What do we got? Punctuate deals damage to target creature equal to half the number of punctuation marks in that creature's text box. The punctuation marks are, etc. Ooh, right in the colon. That's a card. Oh my. Let's see. Okay. Our market research shows that players like really long card names, so we made this card to have the absolute longest card name ever. Elemental. Art Rampage 2. Whenever this becomes blocked by a creature, it gets +2/+2 for each creature in the blocker's art beyond the first. Just call it, for short. That works. Word Mail. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each word in its name. Doubleheader. When Doubleheader comes into play, you may return target permanent with 2-word name to its owner's hand. Players that don't read flavor text aren't too bright, sort of smell, and dress funny. But let's just keep this between us, okay? They can get kind of violent. When Fluffy Bunnies attack, target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of times the letter your choice appears in that creature's name. Get it? Bunnies, letters, -X/-X? Me neither. Bucky, flavor text writer. Ladies' Night. Spells that players wearing at least one item of women's clothing play cost 1 less to play. I can't read today. Women's clothing is designed to be worn exclusively by women. I said, put him in a corset, not a corset. Richard Garfield. Another toy boat. Sixy Beast. As Sixy Beast comes into play, you secretly put 6 or fewer +1/+1 counters on it. Then an opponent guesses the number of counters. If that player guesses right, sacrifice Sixy Beast. Is it 6? Some planes, and Meddling Kids. As Meddling Kids comes into play, choose a word with 4 or more letters. Non-land cards with the chosen word in the text box can't be played. These kids know their 4-letter words. There is another fantastic bunch of unhinged cards. All right. Another red hot hottie. Another shoe tree. Another card pecker. Carnivorous death parrot. Another fallen apart. Another punctuate. Another longest card name ever. Another word mail. Another double header. Another one Fluffy Bunny's attack. Zombie fanboy. As Zombie Fanboy comes into play, choose an artist. Whenever a permanent by the chosen artist is put into graveyard, put 2+1+1 counters on Zombie Fanboy. The real advantage of being a zombie gamer, no one notices the stench. Name dropping. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent says a word that's in the name of a card in your graveyard, you may say gotcha. If you do, return that card to your graveyard, or to your hand. Gemini, May 21st to June 21st. This week is a good time to branch out and meet others, but don't forget your roots. Avoid commitments and open flames. My. Kill, destroy. Destroy target non-black creature. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent says kill or destroy, you may say gotcha. If you do, return kill, destroy from your graveyard to your hand. Forest. And Pointy Finger of Doom. Spin Pointy Finger of Doom in the middle of the table so that it rotates completely at least once. Then destroy the closest permanent the finger points to. I would have made a spin the bottle joke if I thought anyone reading this had ever played the game. Bucky, flavor text writer. A lot of duplication in that pack. Guess that speeds things along a little bit. And let's see what we have here. Mana Flare. Supersize. Circle of Protection Art. Art for Looter. Farewell to Arms. And we have a dumbass creature. Donkey Barbarian. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, target opponent chooses whether dumbass attacks this turn. Envying the intelligence of goblins is a bad place to be. Keeper of the Sacred Word. As Keeper of the Sacred Word comes into play, choose a word. Whenever an opponent says the chosen word, Keeper of the Sacred Word gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Standing Army. As long as you're standing army has vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause it to tap. They're in the chairman of the board. They're the chairman of the board. I can't talk today. Brushstroke Painter Mage. Target permanent's artist becomes the artist of your choice until end of turn. He gives credit where credit isn't due. Mother of Goons. Mother of Runes. Ha ha ha. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from play, sacrifice Mother of Goons unless you insult that creature. Word to me. Booster Tutor. Open a sealed Magic booster pack. Reveal the cards and put one of those cards into your hand. Remove that card from your deck before beginning a new game. Real men use Arabian Nights boosters. They're only a little pricey. Another Elvish House Party. Another Eye to Eye. Some swamp action. Rare Begone. Each player sacrifices all rare permanents, then reveals his or her hand and discards all rare cards. The only rare you'll ever need. Okay, not really. If only that card were pauper legal. Nope, no one? Okay. Yeah, it wasn't that funny. And right off the bat, we have a +2/+2 and is trample as long as you're eating. Food in your mouth and you're chewing, licking, sucking, or swallowing it. Our lawyers say no matter how funny it would be, we can't encourage players to eat the cards. Hear that? Whatever you do, don't eat the delicious cards. Frazzled Editor. Protection from words. Wordy? A card is considered to be wordy if it has at least 4 or more lines of text. The pen is mightier than the sword. Oh my. Oh my. And we got a smart. Whenever smart attacks, name a card. Defending player may reveal his or her hand. and show you that the named card isn't there. If that player doesn't, is unblockable this turn. I don't get it. Why doesn't anyone like me? Stop that. Target player discards a card. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent audibly flicks the cards in his or her hand, you may say gotcha. If you do, return stop that from your graveyard to your hand. Red Hot Hottie. Shoe Tree. Remodel. If you control 2 or more green permanents that share an artist, you may play Remodel without paying its mana cost. Remove target artifact from the game. 6 p.m. The Old Grove. A rusted manticore makes a beautiful addition to any garden. Card Pecker. Carnivorous Death Parrot. The Fallen Apart. Stone Cold Basilisk. Whenever Stone Cold Basilisk blocks or becomes blocked by a creature with fewer letters in its name, destroy that creature at end of combat. What is it? Punctuation and spaces aren't letters. Whenever an opponent reads Stone Cold Basilisk, that player is turned into stone until end of turn. Stone players can't attack, block, or play spells or abilities. It's quite the card. Mouth to Mouth. You and target opponent have a breath holding contest. If you win, you gain control of target creature that player controls. Interesting tidbit. Surveys show that the card O has one of the most popular pieces of flavor text in the Unglued expansion. Interesting. Face to Face. You and target opponent play a best 2 out of 3 rock, paper, scissors match. If you win, Face to Face deals 5 damage to that opponent. Befuddled by this new game, Arg longed for the days of rock, rock, rock. A Plains and Staying Power. As long as Staying Power is in play until end of turn, and this turn effects don't end. Mongo's fleas no longer bothered him, but the family of goblins that he had moved in behind his left ear was starting to get really irritating. All right. Time for another. Let's see. Punctuate. Shoe Tree. Little Girl. In the future, she may be as distinguished leader, a great scholar, or a decorated hero. These days, all she does is pee the bed. Artful Looter. Farewell to Arms. Mana Flare. Supersize. Standing Army. Flassify. Symbol Status. Put a 1/1 colorless expansion symbol creature token into play for each different expansion symbol among permanents you control. Everyone break into teams. Whippery, You're With Me. Nature Group, Meet by the Palm Tree. Stoneworks and Metalworks, Follow the Anvil. Everyone else gather around the giant V. Sort of Cauldra. Working Stiff. As Working Stiff comes into play, straighten your arms. When you bend an elbow, sacrifice Working Stiff. Oh, does your nose itch? Stone Cold Basilisk, Swamp, and Gleemax. Just a little bit of colorless needed there. Choose all targets for all spell. You choose all targets and all spells for all abilities. Help us. R&D under mental domination of alien brain in jar. Only chance. Gleemax blatant disregard for flavor text. Send help. Alright, let's see. So far no foils, which foils were fairly uncommon back then, so that's not impossible, but that's definitely adding to my theory that these were searched. Goblin Mime. Keeper of the Sacred Word. Circle of Protection Art. Framed. Tap or untap all permanents by the artist of your choice. Who knew an 8x10 could feel like a 2x4? Wet Willy of the Damned. I'm just going to let you see that art moment. Orcish Paratroopers. Read that one. Monkey, Monkey, Monkey. AWOL. Brushstroke Painter Mage. Mother of Goons. Granny's Payback. That is some art. You gain life equal to your age. R&D comments. BB 10 out of 10. Why does a life-gaining card hold an old lady killing people? MR 101003. We'll fix it in the flavor text. Booster Tutor, Elvish House Party, Mountain, and Enter the Dungeon. Players play a magic subgame under the table starting at 5 life using their libraries as decks. After the subgame ends, the winner searches his or her library for 2 cards, put those cards into his or her hand, then shuffles his or her library. That is excellent. Framed. Duh. Destroy target creature with reminder text. Reminder text is any italicized text in parentheses that explains rules you already know. Will players understand that the creature is being crushed by 2 parentheses? Not a chance. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed. Goblin Mime. Graphic Violence. All creatures by the artist of your choice get 2 and 2. Oh, we read that one. Oh well. Fascist Art Director. Moniker Mage. Mana Flare. Supersize. Circle of Protection Art. Eye to Eye. My First Tome. Spell Counter. Counter target spell. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent says spell or counter, you may say gotcha. If you do, return spell counter from your graveyard to your hand. Playing Unhinged. Forest and City of Oh, that's a fantastic card. City of comes into play tapped. Add 1 1/2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. But it's one of the pricier cards in the set, if I'm not mistaken. At least the foil version is. That's a good time. Okay. Let's see. Bloodletter. When the names of 3 or more non-land permanents begin with the same letter, sacrifice Bloodletter. If you do, it deals 2 damage to each creature and each player. That's not an A, it's an A. Wait. Hebreus Vem Aether. Nope. Not reading it. Goblin Secret Agent. Frazzled Editor. Stop That. Red Hot Hottie. Shoe Tree. Card Pecker. Name Dropping. Kill Destroy. Zombie Fanboy. Mountain. Collector Protector. Give an opponent a non-land card you own from outside the game. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to you or Collector Protector this turn. Here, have a Mudhole. Feels in line with the April Fool's Secret Lair. And a foil. Foil Number Crunch. There we go. Foils in these sets go for a lot of money. Not sure what that one in particular is worth. It's just an uncommon, but the unfoils in general have a high demand. Unhinged actually had a card that, of course, I can't remember the name of right now, but that actually made it cheaper to play any premium cards, which included foil. I have 4 of those in my uncube and a bunch of foils, and if you get one of those, it essentially turns into a 5-color undeck. It's really fun. Anyway, Mother of Goons. Touch and Go. Destroy target land. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent touches his or her face, you may say gotcha. If you do, return Touch and Go from your graveyard to your hand. Judge's ruling. The interior of the face still counts as the face, as a nose pick is legitimate grounds for saying gotcha. There we go. Laughing Hyena. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent laughs, you may say gotcha. If you do, return Laughing Hyena from your graveyard to your hand. 2 muffins are baking in an oven. One muffin says to the other muffin, "It's getting hot in here, huh?" The other muffin says, "Ah, a talking muffin." It's terrible. A Man of Measure. Number Crunch. Wet Willie of the Damned. Goblin Secret Agent. Land 804. AWOL. Flassify. Save Life. Choose 1. Target player gains 2.5 life or prevent the next 2.5 damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. Gotcha. Whenever an opponent says save or life, you may say gotcha. If you do, return save life from your graveyard to your hand. Who consistently managed to win? Symbol Status. Working Stiff. Aesthetic Consultation. I'm going to land here, right? I missed something. Name an artist. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game. Then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card by the named artist. Put that card in your hand, then remove all the other cards revealed this way from the game. And, oh, that's why. Look at that. Foil Plains. That is fantastic. Even though it's a Plains, That's worth a couple bucks. I don't even think there was even one of those per box on average. It was one and a quarter or 1.5 boxes you get a foil land for Unhinged. That is excellent. Okay, Card Pecker. Loose Lips. As loose lips come into play, choose a sentence with 8 or fewer words. Enchanted creature has flying. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you draw 2 cards unless that player says the chosen sentence. Your sentence can't be longer than this one. Fallen Apart. Punctuate. Shoe Tree. Little Girl. Artful Looter. Oops. Farewell to Arms. Mana Flare. Supersize. Bosom Buddy. Whenever you play a spell, you may gain 1/2 life for each word in that spell's name. Step 1. I believe in a power and toughness greater than myself. Pygmy Giant. Sacrifice a creature. Pygmy Giant deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number in the sacrifice creature's text box. 487. You're welcome. Bucky, flavor text writer. Cheaty Face. You may sneak Cheaty Face into play at any time without paying for it, but if an opponent catches you right away, that player may remove Cheaty Face from the game. Flying. Swamp. And another foil. Ambiguity. Foil rare. Okay. Whenever a player plays a spell that counters a spell that has been played, or a player plays a spell that comes into play with counters, that player may counter the next spell played or put an additional counter on a permanent that already has been played but not countered. Okay. Nice to see another foil. That is the 12 from the booster box. Let's open the random 13th pack here. See what kind of unhinged nonsense awaits us. A Bloodletter. Mom's Goblin Raiders. Sacrifice a creature or land. Add 1/2 a red to your mana pool. Poached eggs. Rock eggs? Oh my. Rock. Colored rock. Unicorn on the cob. Wormfang turtle soup. Remodel. Wordmail. Bursting Beebles. Bursting Beebles is unblockable as long as defending player controls 2 or more non-land permanents that share an artist. Like thousands of others, the Beebles quit Magic for several years following the release of Mercadian Masks. Oh my. Vile Bile. Whenever a player skin or fingers touch Vile Bile, that player loses 2 life. Okay. Goblin SWAT Team. Say, Goblin SWAT Team. Put a +1/+1 counter on Goblin SWAT Team unless an opponent swats the table within 5 seconds. Play this ability only once each turn. They put the special in special weapons and tactics. Snot. As Snot comes into play, you may stick it to another creature named Snot in play. If you do, all creatures form a single creature. Snot's power and toughness are equal to the square of the numbers of Snots stuck together. 1 is a 1/1, 2 are a 4/4, 3 are a 9/9, and 4 are a 16/16. All right. Spells you play cost 1/2 less to play. And you thought Yawgmoth drove a hard bargain. Rocket-powered Turbo Slug. Super Haste. This may attack the turn before you play it. You may put this card into play from your hand, tapped and attacking, during you declare attacker's step. If you do, you lose the game at the end of your next turn unless you pay this card's mana cost during that. Super Haste. All right. Troglodyte. Troglodyte comes into play turned on. Whenever a player plays a spell, toggle Troglodyte's on-off switch. As long as Troglodyte is turned off, it can't attack or block, and all damage it would deal is prevented. Okay, that's different. Bosom Buddy. Plains and... oh my. Greater Morphling. Greater Morphling gains your choice of Banding, Bushido, 1, Double Strike, Fear, Flying, First Strike, Haste, Landwalk of your choice. Protection from a color of your choice. Provoke, Rampage 1, Shadow, or Trample until end of turn. Greater Morphling becomes the colors of your choice until end of turn. Greater Morphling's type becomes the creature type of your choice until end of turn. Greater Morphling's expansion symbol becomes a symbol of your choice until end of turn. Greater Morphling's artist becomes the artist of your choice until end of turn. Greater Morphling gets +2/-2 or -2/+2 until end of turn. Untap Greater Morphling. Okay. That is a card, and that is the card to end on. That is Unhinged. Thank you all so much for joining me. Glad I finally got to dig in and open these. Again, if you haven't played much with the unsets, I highly recommend it. Build an uncube if you have uncards. Draft it with friends. Go pick up a box of Unstable. They're a little pricey, but it's an amazing draft experience. Have some fun. Thank you all. Take care. Be safe.